I'm Eddie Young, founder and CEO from Visual Feeder. We create brand experiences on vacant retail windows. So our mission is to really change, really provide a solution for how retail is operating right now. There's like a really, crazy situation right now with vacant retail that just staying empty for like a long periods of downtime. So we provide advertisers a new form of, reaching their customers and audiences.
So you were saying how there is a large increase in store vacancies and having long-term leases maybe not happening so much. And you could see that kind of rippling because of COVID-19, right? So can you speak on some things that your company has been doing because of COVID?
So yeah, a lot of, the out-of-home advertising industry, that's been hit hard. So what we've been doing recently is we've activated some of our locations for the CDC and the Ad Council. So we were working with them to, show campaigns of, the stay home, the shelter in place campaigns. And, we just want to provide our technology in our windows as a message board for the CDC now. So that's what we've been doing recently. We're activating one soon with like the Hilton hotels. They have a large retail space on the bottom that's vacant. So yeah, we're doing a lot of CDC messaging. So that to keep people safe and remind people to, stay home.
So having this tech background and doing activations and using window displays, how do you see AR and tech furthering in the future or evolving post-pandemic?
So in the long run, I definitely believe like our thesis is advertising will become more experience. So experience will be the new form of advertising. I don't think, how advertising is now, with static billboards or just street furnitures, that will be enough attention or catch enough attention. So the future is definitely experience in advertising. AR and, I think just all these new emerging technologies is great tools to use for new experiences. So it's definitely, because people are numb to, advertising now. People just try to opt out of advertisements actually, the online, they'll like pay to not see it. But that's because, they're just, not doing it well.
Back to you. How do you see your future evolving, specifically for Visual Feeder, if there is this huge market gap in VCR and virtual ads and spatial creations? Where do you see Visual Feeder?
I definitely see, a lot of digital, a lot of physical stores becoming more digital as well. So, we're also wanting to activate digital storefronts. So instead of having a physical store, I feel like a digital store would be awesome just to project like the visuals of what a store would look like and not actually have the inventory in the space or, employees. It's just more, and what also is cool about that is like it can be interchangeable as well. So I definitely think like taking the digital aspect of it and putting it into retail is definitely one of our like future visions.
Do you think that plan has been halted or propelled from the pandemic?
I think both. It's propelled it because it propelled it in a way where like brick and mortar and retail is definitely, it took a hit,
right? Which
Which means like we have to do something about that side of it. So yeah, it held it because people aren't going out, but I don't think this pandemic will hold people from going out. People will come out eventually, right? Like it's inevitable that everybody wants to go back out. To bring people out, you have to provide them something more than like actual buying the item or what they're going out to do. They have to experience something new instead of, I feel like people don't go out anymore to just buy something. It's more for the experience of buying that item.
Right. So the aspect of kind of interconnectivity and interacting with the brand and not necessarily just purchasing from the brand.
Exactly. Yeah.
To learn more about you and put more of an identity behind the brand, how did you get involved in Visual Feeder?
So yeah, when we started, it was more working with companies and brands on creating activations for events. One of our first installs, this was even before Visual Feeder. I was just kind of doing these as a freelance artist. But yeah, it was for TEDx IIT at the Illinois Institute of Technology. So it was for a TEDx event. They wanted some kind of stage design. So I proposed a projection mapping a projection mapping installation that went on the stage as people talk. So that was like one of the first installs, and it kind of just rolled from there. Actually, I actually didn't even know how to projection map or even create the thing. I just kind of was like, all right, I'm just gonna post something, just figure out how to do it.
Wow.
But yeah, that was like the first install, and it kind of just took off from there. So once I made that, then someone that was throwing an event saw that, and this event was sponsored by Red Bull. So then I was hired to create a projection install for another Red Bull event, and then it just kind of branched from there. And then pretty organically it went from one project to another, but this was all event based. And then we started Visual Feeder about a year ago to take the technology of projection mapping, what we're doing, and implementing it onto Vacant locations, Vacant retail windows.
Very cool. Along that very organic path, did you meet any individuals that helped shape that growth or helped guide you in any way?
We were in Techstars Accelerator. So that has been amazing. I mean, the whole program, it was a 3-month program, and that was amazing because we just met so many entrepreneurs, so many mentors, so many people that opened businesses and like created companies. So it's a whole nother aspect of it, because I think I come from more of like a creative background and, an artist mindset. So it's just learning this whole aspect of running a company and like figuring out financial models and all these like, projections and all these like this business side of things has been amazing. And just from Techstars, all these mentors, all these other cohorts. It's a lot of talented people that I've met recently.
Have you been listening to any music or podcasts that you want to talk about or share that's kind of helping you stay motivated or advancing your mental stimulation working from home?
With podcasts, I love How I Built This. It's like an amazing podcast about just entrepreneurs and how they started their business.
And then any book recommendations or fun things that you're doing to keep your sanity?
Peter Thiel, 0 to 1 is a great book. What else? So I'm reading Trailblazers right now. It's written by the CEO of Salesforce.
Okay.
So that's a good book too. The last book I finished was Shoe Dogs with Phil Knight. So he's the founder of Nike. That was an awesome book. It was like really well written too. It wasn't like it wasn't like a textbook. It was really like poetic and well written. So
amazing. So being still kind of fresh to the industry, do you have any advice to anyone starting out in a similar field?
Yeah, I think the best advice is just to like actually don't overthink it. Just do what you plan to your task to get to the next part of it, and don't overthink like you need to make things perfect. You need to list out everything perfectly before you can do it. You can do it and then learn and change as you're doing it. So I really think that helped me a lot, right? Because I think before I was really a perfectionist, not like overthink things and kind of like map out the whole thing and plan it out and then activate on what I planned out. But in reality, what I planned out was wrong anyway. So I might as well just do it and then figure out the correct way. So don't overthink things. Just do it. Yeah.